So if you want to know how ATL Jacob makes crazy beats and samples for Future and Young Thug, this is the perfect video for you. Yo guys, what's up? Welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how ATL Jacob makes crazy samples and beats in the style of Future and Young Thug. So first of all, since y'all have already heard the beat, I will show you how I made the sample, so break down every single pattern. Then after that I will show you how I mix these individual sounds. Then for the last thing for the sample, I will show you all the mastering chain, and the sample has 3 different parts, so please make sure to stay till the end for the switch ups, because those are really important while making samples, because they give you a lot of variation. Then after that I will show you how I made a beat to it, so break down every single sound as well and every single pattern. And then at the end y'all will hear the finished beat. And please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel, it would really help me. And while you're at it, please make sure to leave a comment, just comment like 3 flames or something, or some future video ideas. That would really help me as well, and it would really mean a lot. And if you want to get some of my kits that I used in this video, make sure to check out the links in the description and to follow me on my socials. And yeah guys, let's go. So for the first thing I use Contact, and I use the Gunna quarter bank with the cotton preset, with the basic UC cotton preset. And I didn't do anything to this piano. It's a really nice sounding piano, so I haven't changed any of these settings. And then I laid down this pretty simple pattern. It looks complex as always, but it's a really simple pattern. I just played something that came in my head, and as you can see I have like these little triplets right here with like a little roll right there, just that it has like more of a bounce. And what I did as well was like these little step notes or like filler notes, just that it sounds more realistic, because when you play the real piano you don't hit every note like at the same time, or maybe you press like 2 notes at one time, and that's just something that happens. And that's what I tried to replicate with that. And I just laid down this pattern for 4 bars, and I just copied it over, then pressed Alt and R, where you can randomize the velocities, and just had to give the pattern or like the piano sound more of a natural feeling and more of a realistic feeling. And that's all I did for this piano sound. And what I did too for this piano, so it sounds even more realistic, I have my speakers right here on the left and the right. And at first I just recorded the left speaker, which you can see right here because I hard panned it to the left, and then the right speaker, as you can see right there, because I hard panned it to the right. And then for the last thing I just center my microphone, as you can see right here, because it has no panning at all. And I put the declicker mode to generic, the mode to stretch on every individual wave file. And shout out London Rain for that. Make sure y'all check him out, he's so crazy. He has all these simple tips which make a big difference though by making samples. And first of all, the not recorded piano would have sounded like this. And now with the London Rain technique, it sounds like this. And for the effects on this piano, I had this Abbey Road vinyl stereo with the presence boost preset, then the Soothe on its hard setting and the knob to 3.0, then this RC20 with the cassette first generation preset, then this OCS 45 with these settings, then this Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, the decay, the pre-delay and the low cut, this Soothe again on the hard setting and the knob to 3.0, and I have this EQ where I cut out some of the lows, dug some of the lows, and that's basically it for the first piano. And then for the pan pianos, as you can see, it's on another mixer track, and on this mixer track I have just this EQ where I just cut out some frequencies that were like too harsh. Then this Abbey Road vinyl where I have the default preset which I tweaked like a little bit. Then this RC20 with the vinyl 1 preset. This Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, the decay, the pre-delay and the low cut again. Then the Soothe which y'all have seen already. And then this EQ where I cut out some more lows, ducked some of the highs and some of the lows as well. So as you can hear, this piano sounded a bit robotic, but when I rendered it out it gave it like more of a natural feeling. And as I played the keys for real, then for the next thing I went to Splice and found this vocal loop which is like an soul or like a church choir loop, and I pitched it down by 2 just to bring it into the key of C because I'm in C minor. Then I lowered the volume, put the mode to stretch, and first of all the vocal loop is sounding like this. Then for the effects on these vocals, I have this Fruity Reverb 2, where I played with the decay, the wet knob and the stereo separation. Then the simple soothe, which is on its default settings. This simple EQ, where I just cut out a lot of the lows, ducked some of the lows and ducked some of the highs, and added 12% in stereo. Then for the next thing, as you can see, I recorded my own guitar and I chopped it up just that it's on time. And I can't really explain much because I don't really play the guitar, but I just play it by ear. And what I did was pitching it down by 1 because I had a sound shifter on it. So I just pitched it down by 1, normalized it, put the declicker mode to generic, the mode to stretch and lowered the volume. And the finished guitar is sounding like this. And for the effects on this guitar, I have this Panman, which has these settings. Then this OCS 45 again with these settings. This Abbey Road vinyl where I had the presence boost preset on. This simple soothe on its hard setting and the knob to 3.0. Then this Valhalla vintage rub where I tweaked the mix, the decay and the low cut. And this simple EQ where I just cut out a lot of the lows, ducked some of the highs and cut out some frequencies that I didn't really like. And that's all for the effects on this guitar. Then for the third part, I have these vocals, which are called Vocals Male Ensemble Monks. And it was in D minor as well, so I pitched it down by 2. Had the mode to stretch and lowered the volume as you can see right here. And I left the vocal phrase how it was. I just had this little fade in right here. And the vocal phrase is sounding like this. And for the effects on these vocals, I have this Fruity Reverb 2 with the same settings than on the first vocal. Then this soothe with the soft setting in the knob to 3.0. Then this EQ where I cut out some more lows and ducked some more frequencies. And as on the other vocal, I added 12% in stereo. And then for the next thing, I used my favorite bass from Contact, which is the X bass from Experimenta. And all I did was really just laying down this simple bass line, which are basically the root notes from the piano. I randomized the velocities and then rendered it out because it was a little bit too quiet. So I just normalized it, put the declick mode to generic, the mode to stretch, and I turned the volume to 100%. And the finished bass line is sounding like this. Then for the effects on this bass line, I have this simple soothe on the hard setting and the knob to 9.1. Then this arc compressor where I had the threshold to minus 12.5 and the ratio to 1.64. Then the simple decapitator where I played with the drive, the tone and the style. And then I had this EQ where I cut out some of the muddy lows, ducked the frequency that was like too much. And I almost cut out some of the highs and ducked some of the mids. And I added 81% in stereo. And now for the mastering chain, which is the most important part while making my samples. And on the mastering chain, I have this A1 stereo control from Alex Hilton with these settings. Then this arc compressor, which does nothing for this sample. Then this Abbey Road vinyl stereo with the vintage master preset. Y'all can just pause the video and copy them settings. Then this sound shifter pitch stereo where I pitch it up by 5. Then this chroma tape from Waves where I had the mastering big and open preset on. Then this L1 limiter just to make it louder. This soothe just to cut out some of the unnecessary frequencies. And this EQ which does nothing. It's just on there in case I want to EQ something that is too much on the sample. And then after rendering the sample out, I load the volume, normalized it, put the declicking mode to generic, the mode to stretch, and now I'll show y'all the sample with and without the mastering chain so y'all can hear the difference. And first of all, this is the sample without the mastering chain. And now this is the sample with the mastering chain. And now for the beat breakdown, the first thing I obviously did was dragging it in the sample, and I pitched it up by 2 just because I like the pitch. Then I put the mode to stretch, put the declicker mode to generic and the trim knob to 100%. And then the first thing I did for the main beat was just dragging in one of my hi-hat midis out of my stash 2023, which will probably drop next Wednesday. So y'all make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and to turn on the post notifications on here and to check the community tab because I will post when the kit will drop. And as you can see, it has 50 hi-hat midis, 20 snare midis and a lot of 808s and everything everything else. And I just used a beautiful hi-hat out of this kit as well, as you can see right here. And all I really did was just dragging in the hi-hat MIDI, and y'all can use it next week as well. And it sounds like this. Then for the next thing I have this Luca Arden snare, which is out of my stash as well. I just laid down this pretty basic clap pattern, which has a MIDI as well in the kit. As you can see, the clap 8 bars MIDI, and you can either just drag it in or press the mouse wheel button and it will automatically be in there. And as you can see, just a basic clap pattern, which sounds like this. Then for the next thing I have this one snare from ProtDB and the Wizards kit, and laid down this pretty simple snare pattern, which sounds like this. Then for the next thing I used the delayed open head out of my stash as well, and I laid down the pattern on the 1, 3, 5 and 7 just for the 808 to hit harder, and the finished pattern is sounding like this. Then for the last and most important thing, I have this Max Shooter Menace to the 808's 808, and as you can see right here, it's a pretty basic 808 pattern. I just laid down some notes on the root notes from the sample, and I have some notes right here and right there, and that's all I really did. I just added my tag for the beat, and the finished beat with the 808 and everything else is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot, and it takes like only 2 seconds, so please make sure to do it. And while you're at it, please make sure to leave a comment. Just comment something cool or just like future video ideas. And if you want to get the kits I used for this video, please make sure to check out the links in the description. And don't forget that my Stash 2023 drum kit will drop next week on Wednesday. I took a lot of time making all these hi-hat MIDIs and some of these sounds itself, so please make sure to check that out, and I will give you all a discount if you DM me right now. And thank you for this crazy support in the last videos, and thanks to every single one buying my kits. And with that being said, yeah guys, see y'all.